This time of year, people reflect on their own blessings, and then they look for ways to try to share with those who are less fortunate. With more than 8,000 nonprofit organizations in Alabama, there is certainly no shortage of worthy causes out there. But how does a person determine if a nonprofit is trustworthy? Focus at 4's Candace Sweat has been looking into this and joins us now. There are certainly checks and balances in place, but bottom line, it comes down to the consumer or the giver doing his or her homework.
It does, Pam, and really transparency is a really big plus when it comes to looking at the trustworthiness of one of these organizations. I spoke with Executive Director of the Alabama Association of Nonprofits as well as the Executive Director for the Jimmie Hale Mission. Just one good example of a transparent organization right here in our area. The takeaway here is this to consumers: check it out before writing a check.
Supporting nonprofits and their missions really is an individual donor choice. And what I think it's analogous to is making any sort of investment.
Billy Baxter is Executive Director at the Alabama Association of Nonprofits. The organization supports nonprofits in Alabama by providing management and organizational training. Baxter says a little research can go a long way when it comes to determining the trustworthiness of an organization.
You know, whether you Google things, whether you talk to neighbors, whether you talk to someone who knows about the organization, you know, that kind of research pays off.
Beyond Google and word of mouth, Baxter says a growing trend is for organizations to establish credibility by participating in what he calls outside evaluations. The Alabama Association of Nonprofits offers one.
It's the Standards for Excellence program, where these instructors take an organization through the paces to make sure that they have all of the things in order that they should.
Baxter says there is no hard and fast rule when it comes to determining trustworthiness. However, there are some qualities to consider. One, longevity.
One of the things that might cause a little caution, not necessarily wrong, but if it's an organization that's just started, particularly if it's just started during the holiday season, or if it starts up after a disaster when people's emotions are high.
The Jimmie Hale Mission is one example of an organization that's been around since 1944. The mission's executive director, Tony Cooper, says it's something that makes them worthy of consideration for the public support.
We're coming up on our 70th anniversary, so number one, we've been around a long time. Now, that doesn't make you an expert, but it helps. The fact that you've been around a long time and people have trusted you for all these years, that, you know, that's one check mark that can be checked off.
Two, does the organization have an open door policy? Stop by for a visit and ask yourself if it's a place where you would want to volunteer.
We encourage people to come visit. I mean, you know, and when you just come and look around, we have I Had No Idea tours they can find out about on our website as well. And so just coming and looking around and seeing the work that's being going on.
Lastly, and perhaps the most important, check the organization's financial records. Overhead spending is the ongoing expense it takes to operate the organization. Furthermore, financial records submitted to the Internal Revenue Service are public record. At the Jimmie Hale Mission, not only do they have copies of their IRS 990 form on hand, they also provide donors with copies of audits and annual reports online under the Financial Stewardship page. Cooper says it's simple. Do right by the community, and the community will return the favor.
They've worked hard to earn their money, and when they share out of compassion, they want to make sure that the money that they're giving is addressing the needs that the organization says they're going to do with it.